Hello, this is Mrs. Klein about to read Wednesday the 20th book talk out loud. So hopefully you have the text in front of you and we can read through the questions as well together. So I'm going to share the screen with you and hopefully you will see what I see in front of me here. Okay, so we're going to look at the questions first because this is another non-fiction text we're looking at. So we're going to read through the questions first together. So hopefully you've got those. I'll make them a little bit bigger. Okay. Question 1. During the war, the lives of people in Britain changed considerably. Find and copy 3 ways in which the people had to adapt to life during war times. So you're looking at 3 ways that the people had to adapt to life during war times. Question 2, suggest a synonym, so one synonym for the following words. So each word you need to choose a synonym for. Grinding, obliterated, and bolster. So you'll need to find those words in the text, because when you find those words in the text, you can think of a synonym that will fit in the text and have a similar meaning. Okay, so grinding, obliterated, and bolster. So think of that when we're reading through the text. Number 3, find and copy 3 statistics related to the Blitz between September 1940 and May 1941. So 3 statistics that are between those dates. Statistics meaning facts, numbers, percentages, amounts of deaths or things like that. Right, number 4. Summarise in your own words how the British government tried to prevent negativity during the war. So you need to summarise in your own words how the British government tried to prevent negativity. So thinking about that public morale, that lifting those spirits of the people, okay, so to stop them being negative during the war. So what did the government do to try and prevent people being negative? Okay, and boost morale. Okay, so let's look at the text together. Right, here we go. Right. Here we go. World War II. What would you have done when the Blitz bombs fell? Britain becomes a battleground. With World War II entering its 2nd year, Hitler stepped up his campaign against Britain. Across the UK, civilians had already experienced rationing, blackouts, and grinding volunteer work. Now events were to take a terrifying turn as ordinary men and women found their lives at risk. On September the 7th, or 7th of September 1940, the German Air Force launched an 8-month campaign that would rain explosives on 16 major British cities and many smaller towns. Homes were obliterated and historic centres destroyed. Daily life was now on the front line of battle, and many people had to decide whether to leave or take their chances against the bombs. The Blitz in numbers. Even before the Blitz began, the British had a good idea of where bombs were likely to fall. Industrial cities and ports were the Luftwaffe's main targets. So remember, that's Luftwaffe is Luft in German is air and Waffe is weapon, so weapons of the air. So we know what that means, the planes. Industrial cities and ports were the Luftwaffe's main targets. Many civilians were offered the chance to relocate to safer parts of the country. In some cities, 60% of children and other priority civilians fled their homes at the beginning of the war. However, many of these returned home to take their chance as the conflict dragged on. So here's a very important, I'm not going to skim over this, I want you to really look at this diagram here, this map, because it gives a little clue. What does the title here say of this diagram? The Blitz, September 1940 to May 1941. And we've got here some statistics. Dead, 43,000, injured, 51,000, homeless, 2.25 million plus. 30,000 tons of high explosive dropped in 127 raids. Key, tons of high explosives. So here you've got a key here with the explosives and where they were hit in the country. Okay, so think about those statistics. The rising and falling wail of an air raid siren sounded when enemy aircraft were sighted in the area. It went on for minutes. Civilians had to decide quickly where to go. I'm just going to have to reduce that a little bit because my screen's gone. Sirens came to dominate people's lives and could go off several times both day and night in cities like London and Liverpool. After the danger passed, a continuous siren noise indicated the all clear. Air raid precaution, or ARP, wardens would then help find and reunite families that had been separated by the bombing. civilians would emerge to see what had been destroyed. Civilians on the front line. The government was concerned that the bombing campaign would cause a collapse in morale. So think about that negativity, okay? In response, the Ministry of Information created propaganda films to bolster public opinion. So to bolster public opinion, excuse me. However, while official reports described moments of public hysteria and panic during early raids, they didn't lead to widespread defeatism as they had feared. Instead, resilience increased as civilians adapted to the difficult and exhausting conditions. Public attitude surveys revealed many also took a fatalistic attitude to cope with the continuous pressure of war. So fatalistic, what will be, will be. Okay, there we go. I think that's it. So let's go back to the questions really briefly. I'll give you a little clue about where we can think about finding those answers. During the war, the lives of the people in Britain changed considerably. Find and copy 3 ways in which the people had to adapt to life during war times. So if you look at paragraph 1 in particular, you'll be able to scroll up. You're going to find 3 ways that the people have adapted, okay, to life in war times. Right, suggest a synonym for the following words. So we need to find grinding, obliterated, and bolster. We need to find those words in the text. So grinding, I think, was in paragraph 1. So if we look in paragraph 1, yep, here we go. So we need to think of a synonym for that. Looking at it in context, we got obliterated. I think that was in paragraph 2. Remember, yep, obliterated. Scanning, using those scanning techniques. And it's a good technique to do. This is what you need to do when you're finding synonyms. And bolster, no, that was later on. That was about public. Here we go. Under this subheading here, you've got the bolster public opinion. So you need to think of synonyms that will fit there. Okay, number 3, find and copy 3 statistics related to the Blitz between September 1940 and May 1941. Do you remember where I guided you to? Having a look at some of those statistics. And the last question, summarise in your own words how the British government tried to prevent negativity during the war. So really thinking about where it says in the text about what the British government did to boost that morale, to prevent that sort of negativity. And I think if we remember, if we're looking definitely under this subheading here, we've got the whole idea of what they did here and thinking about what consequence that as a result of what they did, what happened as a result. Okay, there are model answers here to show you the structure, but please do not just copy from them. I've given you quite a lot of scaffolding in terms of helping you and giving you skills of what you, skills and techniques of how you can find and locate information. But do use the model answers to help you scaffold your answers in terms of the structure, but have a go at doing it yourself. And remember, capital letters and full stops. And if you're copying from the text, no spelling mistakes. Happy book talk, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing this screen now and stop talking, and I shall see you all soon.